I finally found my gem. This is the 4-wheel drive. This is a K30. It's a 1982. So it's in pretty rough shape. The front suspension's been all redone. It has newer steering stabilizers. It's got new 2.5-inch lift rough country shocks on the front. All the bushings have been replaced. So somebody's already gone through it, but it does still have a pretty bad case of death wobble. So that's something that's going to need to be addressed. But I mean, like, if you look at that tie rod over there, it's got a brand new bolt on it. It's all been replaced. So I'm thinking maybe it's the kingpin up top, because those don't look like they've been replaced. Everything else has been replaced on here, up here in the front anyway. So it's all brand new steering. But the front end, the grill's pretty hammered. It's pretty beat up. A bunch of different colors. It's got nice wheels on it, brand new tires. Manual windows. A little bit of rust, not too terrible, but there's a hole right there. The seats are actually in really good shape, but they're pretty sun faded from sitting for a couple of years. This dashboard is actually an extremely expensive dashboard. It's very nice, but once again, it's sun rotted. Arizona. And if you look over there, windshield's busted. It needs to be replaced. Now somebody went through this thing. If you look up here, that's the sky. Somebody drilled a hole all the way through the roof. They don't line up, and water leaked through. So they did the right thing, and they just filled everything in with silicone. I'll show you from the top. So this is what we got on the roof. There's just literal holes. They drilled in it and nobody patched them. Now if you look right, I don't know how that's showing up on the camera, but if you look right here, this was for the running lights. And they just put Bondo over it. So this roof is going to take quite a bit of work. This right here is a giant patch of Bondo. Right here, more Bondo. So somebody dented that. More Bondo. More Bondo. I mean, this whole roof is pretty well screwed. I don't know who would have done work like this, but it's pretty beat up. Here's the back. Back seat isn't even bolted in. So get that figured out. But I mean, the rest of the floors aren't too bad. You know, the seals are shot. There is some rust. It's an Arizona truck. So what that tells me is all of that rust is from accumulating through the holes in the roof, because we don't get rust. I mean, allegedly this truck was a chase truck for a Baja, for some Baja race. You know, it was a Baja 1000, Baja 500, but I don't know what team. So, I mean, the rust, I could see there's the 14 bolt springs and bushings are actually in decent shape. But there's only one spot of rust that's actually coming from the outside, and that's right here. There we go. That's right here on this rocker. It's literally the only rust on this truck from the outside. So, you know, if you take it down to Baja and you drive it in the beach water and stuff, then yeah, if you drive it in the beach, then you could expect some rust from the bottom. But if you look at the bottom side of it, there isn't any. There's no rust. You know, a little bit of surface rust, but that's to be expected. I mean, it's an 82. There's one hole. It's some cancer, so that could have been from the beach or whatever. And then from the underside, you can see this is the passenger footwell. There's a little bit of cancer going on here. But I mean, look at this. Look at all that Bondo. So I'm gonna have my work cut out for me as far as the body goes on this. Your backside Dana 60, brand new shock, new U-bolts. So if we look over here, you can see there we go. That oil puddle right there, that is from the wheel cylinders. So I'm gonna have to replace it. Not a big deal. And that one, you can barely see a little bit of moisture. Gosh, this is hard. A little bit of moisture right here, right on that drum. And then, I don't know if you can see it up top or not, but right here, there's some moisture. So, that's my next project for today. And then I'll show you guys the floorboard here. And then this is the inside, where there's some weight reduction going on there. But, I mean, if you look at this and you look at what the bottom side looks like, that means that this rust is from these holes in the roof. So what I'm guessing is they started filling these in with silicone, right? All this, the light, they started filling all that in with silicone because the roof was leaking. So instead of getting it fixed the right way, then we also have some right here. I don't know that I'm gonna worry about that though. But, so I bet those holes, look at that silicone. That's gonna be such a pain to get off. Turn you around here. All right, so what that's telling me is these holes that are in the floor, all this rust, so the roof was leaking, and instead of actually fixing it, they just covered the inside with silicone. Those would have been very, very, very manageable fixes if you just would have taken it to a welder, and it would have been extremely easy to fix. Now I'm gonna have to dig out rust, and I mean, it still isn't bad, but it's just gonna be quite a bit more work for me to take care of. But anyway, I gave 25 bucks for the truck, so I basically got a nice set of wheels and tires. I basically paid for a Dana 60 and got a truck with a nice set of wheels and tires. So it is the, oh, let me show you the engine. Millennial anti-theft device right here, right? SM465. It has NP205 as well. And the engine's the interesting one. Here we go. So it's got Chevy 292. Straight six. It is an AC cab. Just about everything's stripped out of it though, as far as the passenger compartment. It also has a Hydro Boost system. So 292 Hydro Boost, SM465, NP205. It's bulletproof. Bulletproof. Yeah. So anyway, you know, the issue that I have with the 292 is it's kind of a turd, you know. For what it is, it does pretty good, I guess. I went and weighed the truck, and it weighs in at 5720. I'm getting about I'm getting 6.8 miles a gallon. I haven't taken it out on the highway yet. Top speed's about 50 miles an hour. So I don't see why I would take it on the highway for any reason whatsoever. But you know, the thing with the 292 is just a bare bones rebuild kit. It's pretty cheap, you know, $300-400 bucks, and then you got to pay for machining or whatever. But if you want to get any performance out of it, it's going to be expensive. I mean, I guess I could build a turbo kit for it, but you know, that's still gonna be kind of expensive. Blow through carburetor, or like a Holley Terminator or something like that. The intake manifold, just like an Offenhauser intake manifold. since this is such an uncommon engine, like, you know, finding one that's used is pretty much next to impossible. And between the intake manifold and a header, I'm looking at $800. Hear that sound of freedom flying over my head? Sorry about that, but I enjoy it. But yeah, right now, so the issues I'm having right now, I got overheating. I gotta figure that out. I've gone through and I've completely, you know, I replaced all the hoses, I replaced the belts, upper and lowers new, I replaced the water heater, thermostat. So far I've done everything. Oh, I forgot to show you guys this awesome handiwork right here. That's not mine, but that's my coolant overflow. But you know, for right now, I don't really even know what the plans are. You know, like, it would be kind of cool to rebuild this 292, but I'd like to have a lot more power. And the problem that I run into it is, you know, nostalgia only goes as deep as your pockets. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, you guys want to see me as I build this truck, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you watching. Thanks, guys.